In 1969, a Western called 100 Rifles was released. Directed by Tom Grease and starring Jim Brown, Burt Reynolds, and Raquel Welch, this film almost faded into obscurity. At the time, it was famous for being Hollywood's first major production to feature an interracial love scene. However, critics of the era considered it a low-quality film with few redeeming qualities, aside from the scene where the beautiful Raquel Welch showers under a public water tank. Like most late 1960s Hollywood westerns, it was filmed in Spain. Over time, the film has been re-evaluated and has now gained a cult following. The story takes place in northern Mexico, in the Sonora region, at the beginning of the 20th century, against the backdrop of an ethnic cleansing campaign carried out by the Mexican government. The Yaqui people were deported because they obstructed railroad development. Most had already been deported to southern regions, where they were used as slaves. However, small groups continued to resist. The plot follows a black deputy sheriff from Arizona who inadvertently becomes involved in their rebellion. This happens when he crosses the border into Mexico to capture a half-Yaqui Indian named Yaqui Joe, who has robbed a bank and used the loot to buy 100 rifles to arm his people. The African-American character, played by Jim Brown, is reluctant to join the Yaqui in their fight against the federal forces because he has never particularly liked Indians. However, the problem arises when he falls in love with their leader, played by Raquel Welch. Chuck Robertson, John Wayne's longtime stunt double, was initially set to double for Jim Brown in some of the film's riskier stunts. The director planned to use makeup to disguise the fact that Robertson was white. However, Burt Reynolds strongly opposed this, considering it completely inappropriate. He argued that those days were over and demanded that a black stunt double be hired immediately. Eventually, Reynolds personally paid $500 out of his own pocket to hire a black stuntman. The film was shot in the same area of Almeria, Spain, where the television series The Rat Patrol was filmed, a harsh and unforgiving location. The production faced difficulties with the elements, making the shoot uncomfortable. One of the film's stars, Fernando Lamas, played a significant role. According to his wife, Esther Williams, during filming, Jim Brown playfully challenged Lamas to a fight to demonstrate his physical superiority. However, Lamas, an expert in karate, gave Brown a lesson during the filming of a fight scene on top of a cliff. One of the movie's most memorable moments is when Raquel Welch showers under the water tower while a train full of men watches and loses their minds over her. The crew tried various ways to manage the scene, but the only solution was to make it a classic wet t-shirt contest. Reynolds later commented that the stunt double did it better, and I agree. This film was produced by the American studio 20th Century Fox and had an American director, producer, and writers, along with most of the crew. Although it was filmed in Spain, Reynolds played a half-Yaqui character. He had previously portrayed a Navajo in the 1966 film Navajo Joe. Reynolds always claimed to be of Cherokee descent, though this was never verified. Interestingly, he also played Native American roles in two television series, Gunsmoke in 1955 and Hawk in 1966. According to Raquel Welch, in a 1968 interview, the role played by Jim Brown was originally not written as a black character. The romantic relationship between Brown's character and hers was specifically added to the script after he was cast in the role. There were rumors of conflicts between Burt Reynolds and Raquel Welch, as well as between Jim Brown and Welch during filming. Brown stated that he clashed with Welch several times and withdrew socially to avoid misunderstandings. On the other hand, Welch suspected that Reynolds and Brown were trying to steal her spotlight. Initially, Reynolds was said to have acted as a mediator between the two stars. However, he also had issues with Welch, and years later, when they worked together in Fuzz, 1972, they agreed not to share any scenes. Despite their personal differences, Reynolds later testified in Welch's favor in a legal case. In an interview after Reynolds' death, Welch admitted that she had initially feared he would overshadow her. To counter this, she decided to emphasize her own attributes. While the film has its flaws, it is hard to understand why it has been overlooked for so long. It features well-executed action sequences and 3 attractive stars, making it well worth watching.
Here we end. Thank you for your attention. Like and subscribe. There are many interesting things ahead. Good luck.